I see this notepad, Prabhu, now.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Let's start reciting. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Dhyate Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhagati Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. So today we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10, and verse number 31. So let's take the shloka. Tvakcharma mama rudhira medo majjasti dhatava bhumi api tejumaya saptaha प्राणो व्योमा भुव्याभिः त्वक्तचर्म मांसरुधिर् मेदो मज्जस्थितातवः भूमि अपि तेजोमयः सप्त प्राणो व्योमा भुव्या वायुभिः त्वक्तचर्म मांसरुधिर् मेदो मज्जस्थितातवः भूमि अपि तेजोमयः सप्त Prano vayombu vayubhi. So tvak, the thin layer on the skin, charma, skin, mamsa, flesh, rudira, blood, meda, fat, majja, that's marrow, asthi, bone, dhatava, elements, bhumi, earth, water, tejo, fire, maya, predominating, sapta, 7, prana, breathing air, vyoma, sky, ambhu, water, vayopi, by the air. Translation: the 7 element of the body, namely the thin layer of the skin itself, the flesh, blood, fat, marrow, and bone, are all made of earth, water, and fire, whereas the life breath is produced by the sky, water, and air. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The construction of the whole material world is predominantly made by 3 elements, namely earth, water, and fire. But the living force is produced by sky, air, and water. So water is a common element in both the gross and subtle form of all material creation. And it should be noted herewith that due to necessity, water being most prominent in the material creation is the principal element of all 5 elements. This material body is thus an embodiment of the 5 elements, and the gross manifestation is perceived because of 3, namely earth, water, and fire. Sensations of touch are perceived due to the thin layer of the skin, and bone is good as hard stone. The breathing air of life is produced of sky, air, and water, and therefore open air, regular bath, and ample space in which to live are favorable for healthy vitality. Fresh produce from the earth, like grains and vegetables, as well as fresh water and heat, is good for upkeep of gross body. Hare Krishna. Let's do the invocation prayer. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshunmitam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavan Sacha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Jivam Saudhetam Savadhutam Parijan Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhantasya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusuta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatrubhasya Krupa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashani Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today's verse is very straightforward and very simple verse, but it gives lots of meditation on to it. So as we all know that we are right now talking on the chapter number 10 of the second canto, and the section we are discussing right now is Sarg, when the answer to the Sukdev, Parikshit Maharaj Sukdev Goswami says that there is in the Srimad Bhagavatam we have mainly the 10 topics it's covered over there, and the first part that's the Sarg, and then Visarga and Uti and Diti, and it's going on. So on the Sarg we are, so right now he's explaining in brief the Sarg, how the Sarg means how the creation is happen, and he had explained how the human body forms and how every lungs and senses and everything came. So for that, it is mainly the mention that the origin has the three part, that's Adhyatma, Adidev, and Adibhuta. And we are discussing all this part on this part. And over there it says how it came. So it says from the desire. And in the last, yesterday also we had heard about that thing. So based on the desire, everything is manifested. So here there is the last verse of that. So explaining all that, we have the main body, we say that how it's formed in Bhagavad Gita, very famous slok, 7th chapter, 7.4, that's that Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, Vayu, Khamanu, Buddhi, Vacha, Ashtada. It says the 8th part of we have. So we have our gross body. Inside the gross, we have the subtle body, and inside that we have the Karan body, and that's the soul. So Ashtada, so our gross body have the 5 elements. That's a Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, and Kham. And that's what here also Prabhupada ji says that we have mainly we have the 5 elements. So which are the 5 elements? So that 5 elements, one is this earth, water, fire, and sky, and air. Water is the common word here in this verse. We will discuss it after. So these are the 5 elements, and that's our gross body. And Man, Buddhi, and Ahankar, mind, body, and false ego. So that's our subtle body. And inside that, we are that. So when we die, only these 5 elements, and that's what here say, we are material body. That's our gross body. And so that's made of these 5 elements. And it will go whatever in their elements over there. With the subtle body, we travel to the next body over there. And finally, when we go to there, we have the soul, we have the spiritual body. So the slok is very straightforward. So normally we have the one is the vachyarth, means where whatever we are reading here, so that's the meaning, and that's very straightforward. And that's why I read that Srila Prabhupada had given only this commentary. None of his lecture he had given the reference of this slok also. The reason is very simple, because 7.4 Bhagavad Gita slok is already there, so he had quoted maybe 100 times over there. Or Acharya is also not given that much commentary on these words. So Vachyarth is very simple. So here it says we have the 5 elements of this material or the gross body, and whole in the above from the 10 verse to this 31, it's explained whole in the detail, and we had discussed that thing, so I'm not going. But out of that, so how these 5 elements also divided, so how our body goes. So then it says we have the 7 elements over here, and that's a explain over. So tak, so that's a tvacha, our skin. Inside that we have that, so body, we have that, and that. So how we feel that somebody is touching us, how we feel, so that is due to the skin over there. And inside that we have the real skin, and on the upper surface, so that's tvacha ruk. So inside that we have the flesh, and in the flesh we have the blood. Inside that we have the fat, and we have the bones, and on that we have the marrow or the majja and asti. So these are the things over there. Now very interesting things we can see over here. So we can take the 2 or 3 meditation over here. So let's see, time permit, we can do that things. So the one thing is that over there, so we are discussing these spiritual things over here, and in over there we say the Bhagavatam is very highest. And if we go particular for the India, people are doing the Katha and Bhagavatam, so they know only the Bhagavatam is, it's only the Krishna Leela is there, and Krishna Leela also, that's mainly the, oh, he is play with the gopis and all that things. But now we are reading all this sarga over there, so none of that things come over here, and it's totally different things. So that's why we say that the whole Vedic literature, so that's basically a science. And on that era, there is no difference between science and Shastra. Shastra itself was a science. Later on, when these Angrez came and all that things in India, they rule over there. And so they'd say, no, these all are the mythological and that things, and that change. And apart from that, if we go to the other religions, so other religions, when the science came, so they are doing the opposite of that things. And that's why people take the one perception that, oh, religion is always goes to the science. No. Whatever our Vedic literature, they are the science. And what's the proof of that? Here you can see that. So when this Bhagavatam was spoken to the Shukdev Goswami Maharaj, by Shukdev Goswami to the Parikshit and that things, so maybe it's, and before that the Bhagavatam is, we say it's eternal over there. And over there it says that how our inside body, can you think even miss our body, and we right now reading also that we have these 7 elements in that set. So sometimes we see that we will, but really we can't realize that we have that. So we see only that, oh, we have the body and that things, but inside what's that? So if you cut over there, and then we can see that what exactly the inside that, and in detail means every part of that body, how it's inside that. So that's mentioned over here. So we have the tvacha inside that, we have the blood, we have the fat, we have the marrow and asti. So how it's a form, its whole explained over there in such a detail. And there's a science, and particularly we say that it's a medical science. So how you form the body over there, and particularly here he says that these 5 elements, the body, these 3 elements made of that, and our swas, we say how we are live. So we have all that element, that's okay. But if you have no breath, then we can't live. And the breath have also sky, water, and that. So for the breath, sometimes we say there is a lots of congestion over there, and Prabhupada also mentioned over there, it's a for the healthy vitality. What is required? That you require the good bath and you have the open air. So you have the air, then you can do the breathing over there. Otherwise, it's very tough. So that also made how these things. So then say we have the sky means space, water, and air. So that's required. Then only we are breathing. So that breath is made of that part, that thing. So how the minute thing also explained in the scripture over there. So that's there. And all we say that it's when it's explained that the Sukadeva Goswami came over there. So he have no cloth on his body, and like Avadhut he is coming over there. Seeing that, people say, oh, these are people like living like that and uncivilized way you are living and this and that. No, that's not the things. They are the Rishi. They are not on the bodily platform. They are totally on the transcendental platform, and that's why you can see that. I can take the one verse where in the Srimad Bhagavatam, just when the Sukadeva Goswami came over there, so at that time, the Rishis were already there. So anyway,
Just remove the 9, Prabhu, and see what happens. Last 9. I think maybe 2
I
verses
think
together.
19 is the.
Yeah, 2 verses together maybe.
Okay, 9 and 10 together is there. Yeah. Okay. So at that time, who are the Rishis present over at that time? So that's all explained, that Atri, Vasishtha, Sarda, and all the list of that things. And the very beautifully Prabhupada ji is giving every Rishi, because we are not knowing who they are. So we can say that they all not the scientists, they are the super intelligent. Scientists also not on that part. And over there, the one, just I'm reading that, how about the Bhrugu Muni? So he said that when Brahmaji was performed the great sacrifice on the behalf of Varuna, on behalf of Varuna, Maharshi Bhrugu was born from the fire. Now just meditate how somebody can born from the fire. If you got the fire, you will burn over there, but he born. Now the science, how the very great question on that, how you can do. So why I'm saying this is a Shastra, is a science. Then he say he could travel in space. That's what right now. So and not only the Bhrugu Muni, just imagine how you can travel in the space. So that's also somebody can wimble over there. And not only Bhrugu Muni, he says it's like Durvasa and Narad and others. So we know only that, oh, Bhrugu Muni or Durvasa ji or Narad, but there's others also there, and it is there. And that's a science. They how that technique and everything, so how you can do that things. Apart from it, here it says that it is what he explained and what the Bhrugu Muni had do that things. And he said the Bhrugu Muni had astronomical evolution, and based on that he had wrote the one grantha called Brahma Samhita. So at that time, whatever the granth, we can say that is a science, and it was a scripture, everything. So astronomically it's a science. And as on today, we see that today when the sun will rise, we can do the prediction. Whole year we can do the prediction, means whatever you want over there. Even the just I was saying the other day, means when I born at that time, which tithi and that what that. So we have that, we can find out that thing also. Why? Because all this is science, and that's why we can do that thing. So whole instruction, we have the Brahma Samhita, and based on that we can do the when we have the lunar, that Surya Grahan and Chandra Grahan, we have eclipse and lunar over there. Today also we can predict whatever the year after or in the past also, and we can do. Why? Because it's a science over there. And then Prabhupada mentioned further, they are and as a great philosopher, he logically ascribes identity in living, and he was a great anthropologist also. And every evolution and the theory of evolution was long ago explained by him. By whom? This is a Bhru, and he was a scientific profounder of the 4 division of that Varna. So that's that. So coming back over here, so what we are saying here, that our Shastra is a science. And why we say? Because we have to create Shraddha, somebody's that. And when we go for the preaching also, this is very, very important parts over there, or the point over there, we can say that, no, it's not only merely some chamatkar or something like all that and these things, and we can say, no, no, we are not body and that things, but how the detailing, there's a lots of places, lots of things over there. And again, if we see that, what's the title of the chapter, this 10, second chapter and 10 canto, that's we say this Srimad Bhagavatam is the answer to the all the questions, and one of the answer to this whole science and that thing. So that's what we are giving from here. So that's one thing. So that's one of the meditation over there. There is a science, and whatever the Bhagavatam, and it says that it is 100% right over there. So we have to be faith on that things. Now the second part we miss. This what we are taking. It's a Saraswat Arth, or it's a secret, or the what's the good meaning over there, or what we can learn from in our life. So that's the one thing. The second thing is that when we think that, oh, okay, so this is talking about me, my body, and how the my body made of that, then it says your body is made of these 5 elements. And in 5 elements also, if you maybe somebody say how the earth and water and that thing over there, then say, okay, let's see the another way, and that's that you are who you are. Then we are nothing, all this, the flesh and then blood and the fat and marrow and that things. And then the whole things arise over there. And Srila Prabhupada say that what's the self-realization? That's if the one know that I'm not the body, but I'm the soul, that's a self-realization. And further it's gave that. So only we say that, no, I'm not body, soul, so that's okay. But when we think the different way that, oh, if I'm a body, then who I am? Then I'm what? I'm a flesh, I'm a blood, I'm marrow, and that's it. So that's what I am. And then whole things come, and that's what we are doing, the self-realization. Why I do proud? I'm so looking so smart, so beautiful, and that things. Why? Who you are. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had given the very good example. Prabhupada had so lots of place over there. Given when you are the young, you are looked at, but when you are the old, and he had given lots of example. I'm not going on that much detail over there. But really, I'm this. Then why I do hold the proud over there? Why I do the lamentation? Why I have the false ego? Or why, if we are doing job also, sometimes we feel the stress, and in the job also there is a politics, and we but what's at the end of the day, if we think over there, then who am I? I'm nothing, I'm this. If you go to the temple also, then sometimes we get, oh, this thing and that, and because we want to be Ishvara. Whatever I say, that has to be over there, and we got, but who I am? And it says somebody over there, I wrote that in. Means what happened at finally when we leave the body, it's our Sanatan or Vedic Dharma, we burn the body over there. And finally what happens? So all these 5 elements goes to their respective. Water goes to the water, fire goes to fire, earth goes to that. And finally what we have in the hand, we say is the asthiful, or is a part of the earth. We have the few ashes. So whole our body and everything's finally we got the few ashes. And keep in mind, means in my village or over there, if we go, they give you the ashes over there, but they never brought that ashes in the home. They keep outside, or in the particular for the village, they have the Shiva temple or something over there. So they go over there, and the outside of that they keep over there. Nowadays, I don't know what the people are doing, but that's what there means. If you burn over there, your ashes also people are not keeping at your home, and immediately they take you and they do hold the Agni Sanskar and all that things. So at the end of over there, who am I? So I'm only of these 7. I will burn over there. And then why I have to do the proud? Why I have to do the lamentation and hold that things we have? Srila Prabhupada also explained lots of ways. If you go particularly for the Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter over there, where it says you are not the body but soul, and whole characteristics of the soul over there explain over there. And Prabhupada repeatedly explain over there, means why we have to do lamentation, why we have to disturb, why we have to do disturb, and mainly the ego and proud and all that things. And just if we do this meditation, we feel so much relaxed, and we get real sense we can took the healthy breath and we can live the healthy over there. And that's it. One more part also hold that what the Prabhupada says, that means how the today's people are talking about live very organic, and we have to live very healthy and all that part. And that's what the Prabhupada also said, that we have to eat the grain, we have to eat the healthy vegetables, all that things. We have to take the fresh water and heat and everything. And then people are talking about the global warming and these and that everything. If simply follow what the Shastra says and that things, we can cover all that things on that part. There is lots of all these topics. I hope we all have that, so I'm not going further on that. 7:58, so I will stop here. Any question, concern, or anybody wants? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. I mean, this was a little. I mean, all these are verses are very technical verses, but this was very nice one. So, I mean, generally we think life breath, right? It's just air.
Yeah.
But I mean, the verse itself is talking about water and ether, right? So we need an open space. We can't be in a one room and then breathe. It is not going to be working out for a healthy life for a long time, right? We can do maybe for a short while. So it's very hard. Actually, I mean, how technically very clear the Shastra is about what is our body made with, right? What is it necessary, right? It's very, very clear. So, I mean, of course, you're talking about Brughamini there. So, yeah,
It's a science.
it's all scientific. Yeah, it's nothing just made up of it. Some person wrote something, and of course, it's very, very detailed. So, thank you, bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. It was very nice class, Prabhu, and I particularly liked how you emphasized that Srimad Bhagavatam is real science, and what the great sages are capable of. It always I always feel stunned when I read King Chitraketu's case. I mean, the two sages, Narada Muni and Angira Muni, came and okay, they said, now you have to go through this experience of having a son. So they bless him with a son's birth, and they name him Harsha Shokan. I mean, and anticipating what's going to happen. And when the boy is dead, they call him back to life. So this is really, I mean, there's all that, beyond our, and not only that, they could travel in the space and everything. They can foresee everything. And similarly, King Vena, the Brahmanas, they could not get rid of him. So they simply recited mantras and killed him. Imagine the power of the sages, That way, this book is absolutely science. And the sages, we cannot, even with our tiny intelligence, we cannot even understand their greatness, actually. That very, very, very amazing. Thank you very much for focusing on that aspect. And it was a very nice class. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Very beautifully you had said. And one more feature also, that it's a 5,000 year, means we say that it's a 5,000 year, but it's eternal over there. But till date, we had not changed the single punctuation or dot mark in the sloka. It is as it is, and today also it is as it is, and it's the truth. No sloka. Commentary wise, maybe we have the different part, but sloka and everything is as it is. But today's modern science, if we say, they change it, oh no, now these not and that means time goes, they are changing their whatever the result or the philosophy and that things. But in Shastra, shloka, it's a permanent and it will remain as, and it is a sanatan, that's why we say it's that thing. So that's also the one of the feature.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Balram Prabhu, any comment?
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for such a nice class. You have given, as you said, the Srimad Bhagavatam is the answer for everything. And we have experiences of day-to-day life, which we have seen, but we have not experienced. The experience comes only when we touch Srimad Bhagavatam, when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam. And not just here. I was thinking, maybe we have read, but we haven't applied in our lives. So more we apply in our lives, then we will completely experience what this Srimad Bhagavatam is. Because nobody can experience Krishna because he is inconceivable. But more and more we do and we apply in our lives, that's where our get some realizations. That's my understanding. Because even though you read every day, even though you hear every day, we may not apply, then we'll just, okay, I'm reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam. Yes, something cleaning up in our heart, but we have to apply in our lives every day. So that means apply means we have to apply, we have to share this knowledge to others. I think that's how Krishna gives us more mercy to understand him and get there. And in fact, Mataji was telling, Sandhya Mataji, right? She is also a scientist, actually. Looks like she failed and she took up the, she did so many years. She is a PhD holder, thesis, etc. But see, finally, she also completely surrendered. It doesn't mean that she was not appreciating here, but she understood. That's what my understanding is. And she took over, and so you see today, every day, Radha Madhav are waiting for her to come and read Bhagavatam.
Oh, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
I just remembered why you're not here today. So that's what I was thinking about it. Anyway,
too much, Prabhu, too much. Hare Krishna.
No, I'm not pulling anybody's leg. I'm just thinking about, how you have so much love for Srimad Bhagavatam and reading for Radha Madhav. So in that way, you're all setting an example for all of us, Mataji. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you for your blessings, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I hope to get there to love Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Lakshmikant Prabhu, can end now? Or any comments from anyone? Okay, Prabhu, we can end here.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for giving me opportunity.